Hello, hello, hello. Making a party video with blue sky and sunshine, but the temperature is getting a little bit colder, but that's okay. I love being in the sun. I love to feel the heat through my clothes. I don't go into the sun without clothes because I have very sensitive baby skin and it gets burned, and I recommend to people not to go into the sunlight without clothes on. So when you go into a swimming pool, make sure make sure you're wearing your chador. No, so I remember we were in Kenya on a vacation, and I was a child. I don't know, I was like 10 or 9, and we were there with my brother and my dad, and I don't know where my mother was, but we were splashing in the ocean. It was so incredible. The ocean water was like almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And there was this woman, which to me, looked like she was dressed in a winter coat with real thick winter clothes. All like dark, real dark colors, black and dark gray. Even her head was covered. And I asked my dad, why is that lady dressed in winter clothes? I didn't understand it. It didn't make any sense to me. When it's that hot, and why would she be rolling around in the waves with this entire winter outfit with big winter jacket, like a looked like a trench coat or like thick winter coat and long and skirts, and I think she even had shoes on. And my dad could not give me an answer. He said he didn't know. Well, now I know. She was dressed in a chador. And it doesn't matter how hot it is, they have to suffer in those complete mummifying, wrapped up clothes. At any time, no matter what if they go in the water, they have to wear that. It makes no sense at all whatsoever. Suffering, all that suffering could be avoided. All of that suffering could be avoided in the world. All this nonsense could be avoided if people started to question other people and authorities and religions and governments and so on. If they all started to question things, then they wouldn't have to suffer anymore. And if we started to become mindful about things, become really mindful, mindfulness, mindfulness of body, movement, breathing, thinking, writing, words, vocabulary, what we buy, researching things, on the internet. That's what the internet is for, That's the purpose that is given to us. That's the present that is given to us, to use the internet to gain information and knowledge about how to make the world a better place, and become mindful of that. Become mindful of what you watch and how you spend your time. I've made mistakes too, many times, and it's real easy to fall into those traps. And David Foster Wallace talked about this too in regards to TV. People were already brainwashed by TV, and now they're brainwashed by the so-called popular internet channels and websites and news broadcasters and so on. But if we use the internet wisely, if we question things, if we question authority figures, then we can gain something from the internet for ourselves. Then we can make our lives much better. We can become healthier. And in the midst of all of this chaos, the storms in the Bahamas, the home invasions in the Bahamas, in the midst of all of this political chaos, corporate manipulation, lack of responsibility in so many respects and regards, in authority institutions and so on, in the midst of all of this chaos, there is this angel soul. His name is Jeremy. He's from Germany. I believe that his parents are from the United States, but he was born, I don't know if I think he was born in the United States, but they moved with him when he was very young. They moved with him to Germany. And so he grew up in Germany speaking German. So when he speaks English, he has a very strong German accent, and it's lovely and it's sweet. And it always makes me smile. And he's a very, very caring soul and very upbeat in the middle of all that strain and chaos and all these things that, you could sit there and just ponder over and be upset about. And we have every reason to be upset about the chaos in the world and the suffering in particular. But he comes in there, and his job is to show us that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is light if we want to use the light. We can use the light, the sunlight. We can use the light. We can use the scents, the fragrances, all these amazing perfumes that are out there. He made his own 2 perfumes, Office for Men. I have not smelled it yet. I don't know how it smells. I don't buy alcohol-based perfumes. So he was just on before he went to dinner with his friends. I envy him. Must be nice to live this kind of jet-setting, cosmopolitan, all embracing, loving lifestyle that has so much infinity in it. When I see him, he has infinity in his mind, and he's out there to give the world beauty and beautiful scents. And he's told me about all of these perfumes that I ended up buying. I was lucky. I got to buy them in perfume oil form, in the sample sizes. So, I spent only $8 on a sample. It's a 0.33 ounce roller bottle from Quality Fragrance Oils, and those are imitations, of course. Those are not the originals, so I don't really have an idea how the originals actually smell, but you know, I assume they smell very similar to that, so at least. But that was nice, you know. I got to learn all about all of these different new editions that have come out, you know. All these different perfumes from Donatella Versace and other people, and Tom Ford, Gucci, and Chanel. You know, I had the last ones I had known were Chanel number 5, Chanel number 19. I have known Coco, um, what else? And a few other numbers. But I had not smelled, oh, I had Cristal. I hadn't smelled Coco Mademoiselle and Gabrielle yet, and so I got them from Quality Fragrance Oils. I'm so grateful for Jeremy talking about these perfumes. And also about, you know, of course, you know, they go by which ones are the most popular ones. You know, they do their research, they do study this, which ones are the most popular ones. People, they want to know approximately what it smells like. You know, we can't send a smell yet to you through cyberspace. It will come in the future. So he just has to explain, you know, what's in it, the different notes that are in it, the top notes, the middle notes, the base notes, just approximately what you know, they can't reveal all the notes because then they would give away their secret recipes, of course, but they'll give you an approximate idea on how this is composed and what are the basic, you know, the basic scent notes that are in it and how this combination smells. And so I got intrigued by all of this. So that's when I got myself, I don't know, 200 different perfumes in perfume oil imitation test size, sort of. You know. And some of them, they are so amazing that I ended up buying the 4 ounce. And I got myself roller bottles from Mato, and they are great. Really, really, those are the best. And they are made out of a safe plastic, very durable, oil resistant, and you pour it in. You lightly screw the roller top on. It can't leak out that way. It has a lid that screws on as well. And it is perfect, you know. They come in 1 ounce sizes and 1.7. They're a little bit taller, so the 1 ounce are just about this tall and kind of wide, you know, like they are deodorant containers, roll-on deodorant containers, empty. You can buy those. I think they're approximately $2 each. And they are amazing, and I fill it into that, and that's also perfect for when you are traveling or when you're going to your office and you have that your any kind of perfume that you like, you know, Coco Mademoiselle, you put that in it and you have that in your office and you roll on Coco Mademoiselle. It's good for the skin. It doesn't hurt the skin. It's free from alcohol, free from any kind of harsh chemical. So it has DPG, dipropylene glycol. It's a mineral oil. It's a side product from the fossil fuel industry, of course, but why not use it, if it's there? So, and it is not a refined mineral product. So I think it's a whole mineral oil, so it contains whole minerals, I assume. I don't know for sure, but it feels good on the skin. It's not harmful or anything. It's the oil from the dinosaurs, you have to look at it that way. And eventually I want to make myself a collection of dinosaur perfume oils in eventually down the line, if I can ever get to that point. So if I can get myself a little production room or something, where I can make these things. I also want to get into pottery again. I have already made pottery. I don't use the pottery wheel. I knead everything by hand. I learned a lot about that already in Germany. Many of them burst and exploded in the oven, taking other people's works with them. So learning the hard way with the people that were running those shops getting mad at me. So they finally, and yet it's their own fault. They should have told me, they should have told me that I have to poke holes into the clay underneath, So when you have a thick piece of pottery or any kind of sculpture, you have to poke holes into it from underneath to go most of the way into it. And so use like a knitting needle for that or something, because the clay can create air bubbles just like this, and this one makes these farting sounds when you squeeze it. Then there's air bubbles in it. When you use natural earth clay, there can be air bubbles that get netted into it. So you have to poke those, and then the air gets released through those poking holes. Most of the bubbles get released through that. And then you put it into the so-called kiln, K-I-N-N. It's a pottery oven, and it heats it up to a very high degree, because that is what then binds and melts the silica molecules together and makes your pottery sculpture hardened and also waterproof and everything. So you can make food dishes with it, which I have made. I made a whole collection of artworks, particularly utilitarian artwork pieces. I made an elephant tea kettle. My parents still have that, and it's very cute, but it's not very functional because I tried to use that for that, but it doesn't pour out very well. So, but it's a piece of art, it's striped, because when they come out of once they had the first firing done, then you can apply the glaze, which is water-based glaze, silica particles, and specific natural pigments, and pigmented silica particles from nature, and then you can paint that art piece several layers, in stripes or whatever, flowers. You put it back into the oven, gets heated again, the silica particles, then the water evaporates, the silica particles get melted together, so then you have a glassy patina surface, and the colors will come out very vibrantly. So it's always really exciting to see how it looks like when it comes back out of that kiln oven. So Ofen in German. So not orphan, but Ofen. Ofen and in English oven. So I always get that twisted and mixed up. So, and it was very nice, and the people that worked there as well, they always admired my pieces, and they always said, Nicola, your colors, the colors, crazy, crazy color combinations, and so vibrant and different to what other people do. Because, like with my artwork here, I use many layers of one paint color, kind of like they paint a car, I use many layers so that the color comes out very vibrantly and shines. And my brother used to say, oh, when I came back from LA and I was living there again for 2 years, and I was painting, and I used this real bright blue, light blue, and my brother would say, I see you brought the California sky with you. That's the California sky. That's the Los Angeles happy sky that you put into your artwork. And I thought that was very nice that he observed that and said that. That's very nice. And I see that happy sky in that Jeremy. That's what I see, this. He brings us happiness. He brings us a blue sky and happiness, and it's wonderful. It's really fantastic. Absolutely love it. An angel soul. It's wonderful to see this. This makes me feel good, watching a person, talk about so enthusiastically about whatever they want to talk about, and whatever positive thing, that makes us feel good. And it makes me feel good watching his videos, And I noticed that other people feel the same way. And he has a lot of women admirers, a lot of them. They all want to be his girlfriend. And yeah, because he gives them love, It's real, this is real love, and it's real wonderful. It's nice. I'll take this jacket off. Getting warmer. I like this shirt. This is nice. Very, very nice and nerdy. Wonderful. Love it. Very nice and wonderful. I want to show my artwork. I always try to get the right angle to bring more light into the picture. But I think I would have to move this over here more. Then it is better light effect. A little bit of the sun also. Sun? No, I don't know, for some reason. For some reason that makes it darker. It's the sun. No, it doesn't make it so well. My camera stand. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Makes me feel so good, and I'm so infinitely grateful for Jeremy to be there to bring us this light, shine light onto the world. Light, we need light. The world of humans needs light. And I try to shine light as good as I can with my explanations and with my art as well, and with the putty, and with my enthusiasm for all of these amazing things. And my message is, let go. Let go of this, what other people think. Let go of it. Breathe into totally letting go of what other people think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yes, it hurts when they are jerks and assholes. Yes, but don't let that make you a slave, okay? Walk away from them. They are highly insecure people, okay? They see you being different. They see you being free from that. And they get scared because, and they also get jealous. All of it. They want to be free, but they can't be free. They don't want to allow themselves to be free from convention. From the convention. The average of the average, the average. Cookie cutter, template, fashion dictation, body image dictation from the media, from some YouTube channels, from some celebrities. And I'm not even going to blame the celebrities themselves. Like, I'm not even going to blame that Kardashian family for what people are doing with that. I'm not even, they're just being themselves, I guess, to some degree. If they were fully being themselves, they wouldn't be going under the knife. They would love themselves for just the way they are. Beautiful mixed Greek European beauties, Greek goddesses, as they are by nature, pre-surgery, before and after. Before, Greek goddess, okay? Before there were Greek goddesses and Greek gods, or, Hollywood gods. Then after the surgery, what's there? She had a basketball inserted into her butt cheeks. Whew. Wow. Why would the Greek goddess do something like this? Why? Coveting, jealousy. Yeah, we white women, we do covet the big booties, of the hot brown Latinas and Jamaican ladies, and African ladies. We envy the mocha, the vida loca, mocha, Latina diva, the mamacita, yes, we Linda, we admire that. We want to have that too. But man, woman, don't do it. Don't go under the knife. You can have that in your next lifetime without going under the knife. We always take turns. Trust me with this. You take turns, okay? The person who feels unempowered, collective unempowerment, like those Illuminatis, the government, oh, they're already getting like $3,000 per month. No, they're feeling victimized. Next time, in your next lifetime, you're gonna be seeing this the whole thing from the other side of the valley, and vice versa. Okay, so there's no need to go under the knife and get the basketball inserted, and then probably taking you might probably take antibiotics for the rest of your life to prevent your body from rejecting that object. Oh, I'm also against heart surgery for the same reasons. I'm against implants of organs. I'm against blood transfusions, not because of a religious ideology, but because it is brutal, monstrous. That's why. It's monstrous. I reject all of these horrible, monstrous interventions from the pharma industry. It's horrible. Dialysis, kidney dialysis. I mean, it's insanity, okay? Cleanse your own blood. And it's very simple. It's all very simplistic. It could not be any more simplistic. A physician is not going to tell you this because they want you to keep coming and suffering so they can get your money, so they can get your health insurance money. For them it's money. Okay? For me it's not. For me it's about love. So I tell you, you want to cleanse your body? You want to cleanse your blood? Very simple. You stop eating that makes you sick. Okay? You start eating what makes you well. Stop eating what makes you sick and start eating what makes you well. Dr. Richard Shaw said that. And it couldn't be any more simplistic than that. So, what makes you well? What makes you well is raw, vegan, plant food. That makes you well. It's very simple, very straightforward. And it will make everyone well. Everyone, okay, there was a guy, he was doing liver transplants. Like, I don't know, for how long, for a very long time. He found out about Dr. Shaw's and he went, oh, cool, but that's one of the rare kind, one of the rare kind-hearted kinds. And he said, okay, let me give this a try. So he's not going to get a kickback from a pharmaceutical industry. He's not going to make the extra money. He's not going to make money from surgery. But, he wanted to really help his patients. So he says, okay, here, read this book by Dr. Scholl's and let's try this. Here is my prescription for you. The healthcare insurance is not covering it because they're all so corrupt. But the people that did it, that tried it, they all cured their livers. In last stage liver cirrhosis, okay, where they couldn't even, they were getting yellow, they couldn't even handle anything anymore. Everything was making them sick, every flu was just killing them. So they were like waiting for their liver donation from someone, from some carcass, some roadkill carcass. Unbelievable. So, in the meantime, here, cleanse your own body. It's very simple. So they did it, completely reversed every illness theirs, completely healed themselves. The guy never had to do liver transplants again for the rest of his life. He really helped people. He helped people, and Dr. Scholl's helped him help people. And those are angel souls that will do that. There was that will decline the extra money, but who will want the wellness of their client instead. Okay, those are angel souls. And I'm deeply grateful for that guy to implement Dr. Schultz's herbal packages and his book and the information. You don't even have to buy Dr. Schultz's herbal packages. That just speeds it up. That gives you the extra boost of immune system, echinacea formula, and so on. But all you need to do is, you need to eat blackberries directly from your blackberry brush. You need to eat apples from the trees. I see people, my neighbors, apple tree full of juicy, delicious apples. They rot on the branch, so they never get picked up, or they fall off, most of them. Then the deer get to eat them, which is good. The other animals get to eat them. But the people who live there, they don't even take their apples from the tree. They don't even collect the apples from the tree. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like I come into this world where people don't make sense. I see human behavior and it makes no sense. And much worse than that, it makes no sense what people are doing. So because of that, I can't really identify myself with their problems, because those are self-made problems. They shouldn't have these problems in the first place, because there's no need to have all of these problems that they're having. No need for it. It's just simple turnaround, U-turn that you can do right now. You can eat whole food, raw, mainly raw, vegan. Yeah. You solve all kinds of problems at once with that. You save your heart, you save your liver, your kidneys, your entire body, your brain. You'll have better thoughts. If that triggers some ego, if that triggers something from the past, let it come up. It's not a drama. Let it come up and cry, and that's how we go through it. Shit comes up, we cry about it, we feel it, we live through this, but fully, without an escape. You fully breathe and live and be attentive throughout, and you completely assimilated, completely integrated in a wholesome way. It becomes processed in a wholesome way, this entire information from childhood. And it becomes processed in a way where it becomes knowledge, where it becomes just information that we become fully aware of. And then there's no more need to suffer from it. We don't suffer from it anymore, because it's there, it's processed, it has been synced like a tablet. It's been processed, been put in your book library somewhere, among many other books. It's not going to hurt you anymore. It's not going to. The only way it hurts, the stuff from childhood, is if it is somewhere in limbo, if it's not been synced yet, if it's like where you sit with your tablet and you go, how does this not sync? So, and you're not even aware that it's there. You don't even, not even aware that you have that childhood pain. You're in denial. The ego denies it. People will say, my childhood was good, was flawless. No, nobody's childhood was flawless. just for the fact that life has harshness in it. Okay. And there's only a handful of people that only had the basics, the basic harshnesses of life. You know. Most people have been brutalized as children. And those that haven't been physically brutalized, most people have been physically brutalized as children. But those people that haven't been physically brutalized, to the most part not physically, they have been psychologically brutalized by having religions shoved down their throats, force-fed, like the goose liver, geese that are force-fed. That's a brutal thing. That's a result of the force feeding of religious indoctrination, where people split off, they become split. So split that they end up force feeding geese. Just to use one example out of the many horrors that people do to animals and in general. Because they split, their consciousness is split. They have been indoctrinated with religion, as Jiddu Krishnamurti said, being indoctrinated as a child with religion is a major trauma. Okay. Right there, it's trauma. Infinity. Let's heal that. Okay, let's heal this pain from childhood. Let's heal all of this. Okay, so here is the infinity. This is the infinity sign. It's like a pretzel made out of flour. It's the infinity. The eyes of the blue god. The 8 on the side. Okay. The sunglasses of infinity. It's already closing itself up. It closes itself up very, very quickly. I love this stuff. This is so smooth. And it's such a joy and such a pleasure. If everyone could allow themselves to play with this every day. Just be a child. Be the artist. Just feel the material. That's also something Rudolf Steiner said to people to do. You take natural earth clay and you just net it in your hand. Just like you don't have to make anything with it. Just handle it. Feel it. Feel the texture. And sometimes something automatically comes out of it. When you're relaxed, then the infinite cosmos can speak through you, and art will form itself by just alone by itself like this. Whatever wants to come out of this. I think what Dr. Marshall Rosenberg has given to the world is infinitely precious. I needed to hear this. I need to hear it, whether I take offense to someone's comment or not. I need to hear it. Don't be afraid to make someone's ego hurt. Tell people to check out nonviolent communication. Yes, it will probably hurt their egos. The ego goes, I'm already doing nonviolent communication. No, not really. So, no. I get mad sometimes. I'm not a god. But it's a very, very important, and neither was Marshall Rosenberg a god, he was an angel soul, very advanced. But he too got angry, in a human body. Even Jiddu Krishnamurti got angry sometimes. They're in a human body. It's, the human body, the human brain, it's hard sometimes. We get angry. So, but important to always have it in the back of our heads. You have this very, very crystal clear framework in our minds at all times, that no matter how angry we are, we cannot let it out on others. Never let it out on others. Never, never, never. Okay. Never let it out on your own body either. There are people that hurt themselves. There are people that cut themselves or hit themselves. Never. When I was a child, I tore my hair out in violent movements like this. Not just one hair, but like a whole strain of hairs, and I would beat against the floor and scream and beat my head against the floor. And they didn't even protect me. They did not even hold me tight. They didn't even hold me real tight like a straitjacket. That's what they should have done. That's what you have to do with a child like that. A child like that is overwhelmed with negative vibrations in the environment. That's why children that are that sensitive, that's why they become very calm when they're around dolphins. Because dolphins radiate out very, very soothing ASMR type of vibrations. Very soothing, protective, nurturing energy that they radiate out. That's the only thing that every baby, animal baby, human baby, every being, animal, human, dog, cat, human, cow, pig, all baby animals, adult animals, all beings should be living in this medium of positive, giving, loving vibrations. Filled, a room just filled with positive vibrations. That's what everyone needs. But most humans are immersed in violent negative vibrations. And they're so immersed in it they don't even question it. They don't even see it anymore. But we can fix this. We can heal this. We can heal it. I know we can heal this. It is doable. Do it, okay? Take these steps. Go raw food vegan. Meditate every day. It doesn't matter what your surrounding is doing. It doesn't matter. Immediately question all of this. All of the people around you with their negativities, with their violence, with their mocking, okay, with their bullying. It doesn't matter who it is. Could be your parents. If your parents are douchebags, question them. Okay? You can't help them. Okay? Particularly not a child, trying to help. Hey, Dad, let me help you with this. The dad will only, the ego of the dad will only hear, how dare my child is trying to tell me now that I am not well and that I need to listen to my child who is 20 plus years younger than I am. So don't even try, get out of there. Don't even talk to them about your worldview. Don't talk to them about atheism. Don't get in with their religion. Leave it, leave them. It's dangerous if you do that. They are not in a state of mind to be willing to listen to you. They only feel, their ego will only feel threatened by that. Leave it, stay out of their, get out of their ways, and get out of there as soon as you can, and take your animal with you. Don't leave your animal behind. Because some people are violent, okay? Happened many times, I don't even want to mention it, what they might do. So, if you are a wife and you leave your husband because he's beating you, please take your animal with you. Because so many cases are there where the husband lets it out on the dog or the cat or other animal. Bring your animals with you. You're a mother. That's your responsibility. Bring your animals and your children with you. And when you're a teenager or a child and your parents are violent, take your animal, do everything you can. Take your animal. Okay, you're strong. You can do it. Take your animal and get out of there. Okay, get out of there. Go somewhere else. Follow your gut instinct. Get out of there and rescue that dog or sheep or pig or cat. And if your parents have a farm, at least bring one piglet. Bring one piglet to safety. Go to safety somewhere. Okay. So if you can, that's my advice. That's my recommendation to you. It comes from infinite love and compassion. And I cry every day, doing activism, seeing what's happening to animals and children. I cry every day. It's real heavy on my chest, real heavy. Sometimes I can't even breathe. It weighs so heavy. So making videos and signing petitions and writing letters to legislators, that's the least I can do. That's the only leverage, if one can even call that leverage. That's the only modalities I have, so I use it. Okay. I'm awkward, I feel insecure, I have to overcome that, I have to transcend that for bringing that message to the world. Okay. Very important. That's why I went to petition for the whales in LA. I was terrified. I was terrified to get hurt physically or mocked or laughed about. All of this, They didn't hurt me physically because I was in public places. But several guys yanked the petition board out of my hands. And one guy tore that page that had already like 10 signatures on it. With his dirty hands, he grabbed that page and tore it off the petition board, because I said that we need to outlaw active sonar, which is conducted by the Navy. He says, I like the Navy, and then he tore that page out. Then he went